So today's theme is about embracing more love for yourself. I think this is a really great topic considering that the times that we're in. One of my favorite things to do with my clients is to help them gain more love, respect, and compassion for themselves. And the reason for this is because lack of love, self respect, and lack of compassion for the self is usually the reason I've found why people fall short of their health, wellness, and fitness goals and any other goal they may set for themselves. However, once a person develops that deeper sense of love, respect, and compassion for the self, often everything the person wants starts to fall into place. Or what they thought they once wanted now begins to change and transform into something more in alignment with what their true why is. And of course, we talked about that before. So, why do I even speak on this subject? Well, for many years, I personally hated myself so much. I had zero respect and compassion for myself. But at the time, I didn't recognize that that's what it was. But after many, many years of self discovery and personal growth, I now know that's exactly what was going on. And my actions proved it, which is why now I am sharing with everything I've learned about embracing better love, respect, and compassion with you today. So let's define self hate. Now, self hate, I believe, is the most destructive emotion. And as a result, some of the behaviors then the people do to themselves reflect this feeling they have for themselves. And again, it's this kind of lack of love for the self is one of the most common reasons why people experience low energy, anxiety, depression, carry excess body fat, maybe have poor health, and also causes people to play small in their personal and professional lives. The unfortunate part about it is that self-hate often begins in childhood. And according to Harvard studies, when a child is exposed to extreme stress or traumatic events, they're more likely to experience adverse physical and mental issues into adulthood. And without adequate support and techniques to cope with these experiences, children often suppress the painful emotions which affect the person well into adulthood. And unfortunately, when these negative emotions are suppressed, they wreak havoc on the mind and the body without the person even being fully conscious of what is happening. Unfortunately, suppressed emotions usually then show up in the form of self hate. So, story time again. Let me tell you a story about when my own personal self hatred began to help you understand where this may have started for you. When I was about 6 years old, my father was diagnosed with schizophrenia. He was only 25 years old. Unfortunately, I only really have memories of my dad as a sick and often violent person. Because of his illness, he required a lot of attention from my mom and grandparents, which took a lot of attention away from my sister and I. Each Sunday, we would go to church. I can still remember sitting there with my little notebook and pen, writing over and over again, "No one loves me. Why doesn't anyone love me?" I really could not comprehend why all the attention was on my father and not on me. I felt invisible, unloved, and alone because of it. I understood that my dad was sick and he needed the help of my mom and grandparents. So I took it upon myself to always be there for my little sister. Just because I felt scared and alone didn't mean she had to feel the same way. And I knew my mom was going through a lot and was sad and upset a lot of the time, having to deal with a sick and violent partner, that I knew I had to be strong for her too. There were times when my father was in his violent fits that he would pick up kitchen chairs and even the kitchen table and anything else within reach and throw them through the windows of our house. When this was happening, my mom would command us to run and hide to make sure that we didn't get hurt. And one of our hiding spots was behind these big stereo speakers we had in the living room. And as we hid, I would console my sister and tell her that everything was going to be okay. She didn't need to cry. I felt I needed to help ease her pain. But in that moment, I didn't have anyone telling me that I was going to be okay. So I told myself that I would be fine, and I suppressed the pain and fear I was feeling. As I got older, I craved the attention of men to try to find love to fill the void I felt, the void that I felt in my heart. I dabbled in drugs. I used food as my main drug of choice to numb my pain. And I struggled with disordered eating and the cycle of overeating and over exercising. I really truly hated myself and had no self love, no self esteem, or self respect. However, I hid it quite well. I would never show to the outsider how much pain I was feeling on the inside. I didn't like the feeling of being vulnerable, and I absolutely did not want people to know that I was sad or scared. So, as a result of this suppressed pain, when I got older, I began to experience anxiety, low energy, extreme difficulty losing weight, and I had little self respect, self esteem, or self confidence. The trouble is that when these things happen to us in childhood, we might not even realize that we have these hateful emotions towards ourselves. I didn't realize it until I was at least in my 30s and started, getting coaching to help me get out of the kind of little funk that I was in. That's why I want you to take today to take a look at some of the ways that self hate may be showing up in your life. So, some acts of self hate include overeating unhealthy food, making choices with food that you know are not good for you, hating what you see in the mirror. And I'll tell you, when I was going through that, every time I looked at the mirror, I went, oh, I hate you. Why do you have to be so disgusting? Why do you have to be so fat? Where nowadays I've switched that mindset, and we'll talk in a minute about what that is, to I had to consciously think, I love the way I look in the mirror. Man, I look good, right? So it's a conscious switch. Negative thoughts about yourself or others can be an act of self hate, excessive drinking, smoking, or doing drugs, punishing yourself with too much or too little exercise, any unsafe or self indulgence in sexual activity, a lack of respect or self esteem, cruelty or hate towards other people or animals, and even contributing to the destruction of the planet. The ego works really hard to protect us from negative experiences, just like mine did when I was a child, and often buries things so deep that sometimes we don't even know that they're there. If you're like me, you might suspect something is going on, but have no idea what is holding you back from achieving your best health, losing weight, and stepping up to your greatest potential in life. After many years of personal therapy and working with a variety of different business, health, spiritual coaches, I was finally able to figure out what it was that was holding me back in my own life. I really had no idea that subconsciously I was still carrying around the feeling of being unloved as a child, and as a result was fulfilling this belief with my own acts of self-hate. After some self-discovery, dealing with and releasing negative emotions, I am now better able to tune in and listen to what my mind and body needs. I maintain a healthy weight and get healthier each day. I eat a healthy, whole food, plant based diet. I choose to exercise in ways that keep me feeling fit and strong rather than beating myself up with exercise that breaks my body down. I practice yoga regularly to stay connected to a higher consciousness and relax my mind and body. I have deeper connections and relationships with others and a new business that's growing every day. I continue to attract new clients who want to love themselves and transform into the people I know that they can be. I now know that every action I make is either an act of self love or hate towards myself, and now consciously make the best choices for my life. However, until we really allow ourselves to recognize the limiting beliefs that are holding us back, we'll not be able to act in ways that allow us to move forward and see the results that we desire. So, to start this process, I encourage you to first look at an area of your life where you're struggling. Could be health and wellness, could be business, could be relationships. And ask yourself a series of questions about your current state to give you an idea of where you might need to start. For example, if you're someone who is experiencing poor health or struggling to lose weight, take a look at those behaviors and ask yourself these few questions. Number one, do you overeat when you feel sad, angry, or even happy? Do you choose to eat foods you know are not good for you and maybe make you feel gross? Do you work out excessively to lose weight? Or perhaps maybe you don't work out enough because, why bother? It's just a lost cause. Do you feel pain in the body from overuse? Or maybe you have an injury but push through it anyway, ignoring that pain? Right? So remember, every choice we make is either an act of self love or self hate. And to recognize the intent behind your choices, take a moment to decide if your choice will take you closer or further away from your goals. If your choice has a negative consequence, such as harming your health and well being, then it's likely an act of self hate. If your choice will enhance your health or take you closer to your goal, then you can be pretty sure it's an act of self love. So, what will happen when you begin to love yourself? When you begin a practice, a daily practice of self love, you will begin to notice huge transformations in your body, mind, and soul. You will just naturally choose to eat better and healthier foods. It won't even be a thought. It won't be about dieting. It'll just be, I'm making this choice because I know it makes me feel good and I know it's good for me. As a result, you will have enhanced health, you will lose weight, you will just feel happier, and perhaps be a better parent, spouse, or friend. And you will start to begin to step into your true purpose and really identify what your purpose in life is. You will have much more compassion for yourself and others. You will begin to find ways that allow you to serve others and make a difference in the world. So there's a few things that you can do to help boost your self-love you have for yourself. Number one, spend more time in meditation. We talked about meditation and breath work yesterday in the previous presentation. But every time you do this, so every day you take time to be still and silent, you might notice some memories, some thoughts, some feelings that come up. And when you do, recognize them, feel the feelings, forgive yourself, get all the feelings involved, feel where they're coming from, breathe into it, and really let it go. The next exercise is to begin to look at yourself in the mirror. Each day I want you to look at yourself in the eyes, look directly into yourself, into your soul, and look at yourself with love, respect, and admiration. Tell yourself every day that you love yourself and that you, your body, your mind, and soul are amazing, complete, and whole. So every time you walk by that mirror, go, damn girl, you look amazing. Wow, your arms look great. Whew, nice butt. Love your legs, love your stomach. Whether or not you believe it right now, because I know when I started this practice, I didn't believe it, but over time, you will believe it, and it's just going to go right into that subconscious mind. And it will just have to happen because your subconscious mind believes you are already there. So this daily practice is such a powerful and transformation technique. And I actually learned the technique um, from reading one of Louise Hay's books. Amazing. And it was called You Can Transform Your Life. And it is one of the best books that I use for my physical and emotional health. Next thing I want you to do is start eating a whole plant-based food diet. Now, plant-based nutrition will nourish your body so you can shed excess weight, gain strength, have better health, have more energy, clear thoughts without feeling deprived. Eating this way will also allow you to no longer contribute to the destruction of the planet, animal cruelty, and suffering. Okay, this destruction of the planet and cruelty is low vibrational energy that affects everyone on this planet directly or indirectly, and contributing to it is not a practice of love. Now, tomorrow we are going to be talking about plant-based food and how to embrace a whole food plant-based diet. The next thing you can do is begin to make conscious and positive decisions for your life. And when you stay mindful of everything you do, you will make decisions that positively impact your life. And it will happen easily. Remember that each choice you make is either an act of self love, getting you closer to your goals and your ideal life, or it's taking you away from that and having a negative impact. So take your time to choose wisely. Your life and the lives of others depend on it. The last one I suggest that you do, as you guys are all doing even right now, is taking the time sitting here to learn, is to invest in yourself. Investing in yourself is the best money you will ever, ever spend. I know it has been for me. I have spent, I don't even know how much money I've spent on education and trying to learn more about how to take care of my body, as well as coaching. I have hired some of the best coaches, in my opinion, to help get me to where I'm at now. And I have to say, if it was not for them and for me making that investment in myself, I would not be here. I would not be here with you right now. Who knows where I would be, as a matter of fact. So if you want to build, let's say, a business, you hire a business coach, you hire someone who's done it, you hire somebody who knows how to be successful. And if you want to gain better health and wellness and have more energy and live life to your greatest potential, you hire a health and wellness coach, right? That's a big reason why I've developed this program. And this program is actually an extension of my one-on-one 12-week health coaching program, because it really helps to transform people's lives when you get to work with an outside party, right? When I work with some of the women that I work with, I've been through a lot of the things that they're currently going through, and I can be a support and say, I know exactly how you feel. I've been there, and unfortunately, there's a lot of health and wellness coaches who haven't been there, and not saying that they can't also be good support. But, I have to say it makes a big difference when you're working with somebody who goes, I know exactly how you feel. I've been there, right? We might not all have had the exact same experiences in life, but we've all gone through some sort of struggle to get, to try to get to our goals. So, really important to connect with someone. So, of course, you can always talk to me on the Facebook page, ask me questions, or send me an email at rjowellness@gmail.com. Really, whatever way you choose to step into your fullest potential and gain the best health for yourself, just start. Start now. Monday never comes, tomorrow never comes. So the ideal time to get started is right now. And when I say to my clients, I always, and I had to get over this as well, but one of the biggest things I say to my clients is, this is not a diet. This is not a short-term program. If you've got a big trip coming up, no problem. Let's get started, because we need to figure out how to keep you on track while you're on that trip, right? This isn't a diet. This isn't, some people say, oh, I don't want to start. It's Christmas. Let's get started just before Christmas. What a perfect time to start, because then you can start being aware of what are the choices that you are consciously making during these times, because you will make completely different choices once you change that mindset. When Christmas came along, I used to eat every single treat and cookie and candy and cake and whatever was put in front of me, because I was scared I wasn't going to be able to eat it again. Once Christmas is over, that's it. But then I started realizing, if I want to have any of this stuff, I can have it anytime. So I'm just going to have one now, because I can have something later. So thank you, everybody, for another great day. And I really, truly hope that you found, again, some value in this presentation. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.